Hi there, I'm Kate Sterling and I'm going to be guiding you through, pardon me, over the next couple of classes. So just wanted to say before we get going, if you do work with bricks or you've never heard of working with bricks before for a yoga practice, they can be really handy to have as props to help you with alignment. They don't mean that you're bad at yoga or anything like that. They just really help with any hands to floor movements that you might need assistance with, also just with stabilizing and things like that. Another thing you might want to consider is a yoga strap. These again can be just used to help you find length in your body and also just really help you to build up your practice from the ground up. I'll show you how to use them as we go. Just a reminder, as always, that yoga is breath and movement, so to have no expectations, no judgment on your body as we move, to never work through sharp pain, and to also be somewhere where you can breathe. So if you ever need to take a break in any of the classes, you can always come to Hero's Pose, which is either sitting your tailbone down on the heels. If you have any knee restrictions like I do here, then you can just keep your tailbone lifted. Otherwise, coming into your child's pose, that is also a resting position. So we're actually going to start today's class sitting down. So wherever you are in your space, coming to a comfortable seat, you are welcome to elevate your seat with a brick if that works for you. Otherwise, just finding somewhere that you can sit comfortably for the next couple of minutes. So sitting cross-legged, hands either on the knees or perhaps in your lap. And if you want to here, you can close your eyes. Now, if you don't like closing your eyes, just keep your eyes open. Just looking to find what works for you. So throughout the practice and throughout any of the classes, I'll give you options. You can take what works for you and let go of anything that doesn't. So this is your time, your space, connecting to what matters to you. And if you can, whilst you're here, just sitting down in your space, connecting to yourself and starting to really connect to how it feels to be sitting here in your space. So what's going on for you inside? Have you got lots of stress? Perhaps you're anxious. Maybe there are worries. Maybe you've got lots of really great feelings running through you. And we use the floor in this vinyasa style of practice, which is the type of yoga we're going to be doing, a flow style of yoga, to ground down, to root down like a tree, so that you can then build that mobility and that flexibility, both physically and mentally as we move. So wherever you are here, just starting to gently connect the belly to the spine, allowing your shoulder blades to soften, perhaps taking a couple of rolls there with the shoulders. Just making sure there's not any creases between those eyebrows, so that the third eye space, your space of intuition, is completely soft. Often we start to really crease up that brow area if we're feeling tense or stressed. So just maybe giving the face a little shake off. And then just having a little check in with your jaw. Maybe giving yourself a little massage there into the jaw. Maybe it starts to prompt a bit of a yawn. Whatever. You're welcome to yawn in this class. I can't see you, you're in your private space. There's no judgment at all about your movements. Looking to really connect with yourself, with where you and your body are right now in time. So this jaw tension that can so easily be created through sleep or just clenching our jaw in times of stress can really then seize up the rest of the body, manifest in the hips, lots of other tight areas, perhaps the shoulders. So just using this as a chance to connect into where perhaps you do carry stress or tension. Sending all your exhale breaths to those areas. Really nice, well done. Just take one more deep inhale here. In through the nose. Exhale, just allow the breath to fall out through the mouth. And that's a breath we're going to come back to now, but breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. So if you ever get to a place where you can't breathe, don't worry about it. Just let the breath come back in, re-find your breath, and then you can connect back. So from here, starting to place the fingertips onto the ground either side of you. Now this is where bricks can come in quite handy because we're all anatomically different. So depending on where you carry tightness, maybe I have like shorter arms, for example. So sometimes getting those hands to the floor is difficult. Maybe you've got tightness in your spine, which means that you don't have that extension or you're collapsing down. So once you find the lift, the fingers come off the floor. So the bricks here can also then just help you find that length. If you don't have bricks, no worries, you can always use books or something like that at home, or you can just rest the fingertips here. So from here, we're looking to find that long spine. So every inhale, send your breath to the little space between each and every vertebra in your spine. Take a big inhale. Exhale out through the nose whilst keeping that length in the spine. Allow the shoulders to soften down, pelvic floor is engaged and belly zips into the back. 2 more breaths here. So big inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Well done. 1 more big inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Really nice. And then from here, start to make little starfish shape with the, like exploding starfish with the hands. So coming down 45 degrees. And at the same time here, you'll start to feel a heat in the wrists and also the forearms. So just try to laugh anything off that comes up. You take a little break if you need to. Take those hands up in line with the shoulders. This just warms up into the wrists, into the hands, whilst also connects to that strength of the breath and determination. So take those hands up towards the sky, 45 degrees. Coordination starting to go now, perhaps in those fingers. Mine definitely is. Take 2 more breaths. Exhale, let it go. Take the hands to the sky. 1 more deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. And then shake that off. Well done. Really nice work. So we're going to come into a tabletop position now. So always keeping those fingers spread wide in this connection to the earth. That's Hasta Bandha, your hand lock into the floor. Hasta Bandha. But don't worry about remembering about that. Just when you look down at your fingertips now, just make sure they're spread as wide as they can. Now we're going to you're going to find a neutral spine. So neutral spine is that flat tabletop position. There's no collapsing in the back and there's no sinking in the shoulder blades, but there's also no rounding in the spine like that cat pose. So if it helps you can take a couple of pelvic tilts here, just finding that space to connect with in terms of finding that neutral spine. And then once you've found that, just taking a couple of breaths, maybe be pressing the shins into the floor. Your gaze point is just slightly ahead of where your fingertips are. So kind of imagine a peak of a triangle. So we'll work through some cat and cows now. Just be careful here you don't collapse into the spine. Likewise, if you're still reconnecting back to your physical movements with what your body is enjoying and not enjoying, just take it easy as you start to explore that. So inhale, start to lift up through the tailbone, lift up through the chest, the heart center, and the crown of the head without collapsing the back or flinging the head back. Exhale, tuck the pelvis, dome through those shoulder blades, really stretch between the shoulder blades. Well done. Inhale, come through to your cow. And then exhale, coming into your cat. And again, just remember yoga is play. It's like exploration of your body. 2 more. Inhaling, coming through to your cow. Exhaling, coming through to your cat. Let's just do 1 more. Inhale, coming into your cow. Exhale into your cat. Well done. And then just tuck the toes and sit your tailbone back onto your heels there. Now, if you've got that knee restriction or hip restriction, just keep the hips lifted. Just shake off the wrists, and you can do this at any point in class. If you find that you do get any pressure into your wrists, you can always use something like a towel to prop underneath the palm of the hands. Also, you just want to make sure that you're pressing those hands into the floor so that you've got the strength all the way up the arm and it's not just the wrist taking that pressure. So from here, untuck the toes, well done. And you're going to have just a freestyle now with the spine and the movement and the neck and the head and the shoulders and everything like that. Now, this is a great chance to look to let go of any inhibition you have with movement. So start to explore your space safely with your mat. Maybe you're taking it back through that child's pose. Maybe the thighs coming down towards the floor, but always moving consciously. And just being conscious if you do have any kind of feelings of self-consciousness as you move through this exploration of movement and space, to remind yourself that there is no perfect practice, there is no perfect yoga. It's just you and your space, and that we become very conditioned to doing what we think is right or wrong, especially as we get older. Just use this as a chance to play. We'll just go for 1 more little bit here. Really nice. And taking the tailbone back towards your heels into that child's pose. So if you need to, you can take the knees wider here, toes wider. If you need to have more space down the front line of the body, resting the forehead to the mat, spread those fingers wide, really connect your hands back to the earth. Now your tailbone could be as lifted as you need to, working with any restrictions. And every inhale here, reach those arms forwards. And as you exhale, soften the tailbone down towards the heels. So you're really enjoying that length and stretch into the back line of the body. Inhale, you find that length. Exhale, you find that little bit more depth perhaps as you bring the tailbone further towards the heels. Just keep resting the forehead onto the mat. Again, if you need to, you can always prop with a book or a brick. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, take the tailbone back. Well done. And then inhale, coming back through to the tabletop. Tuck your toes from here and then take your tailbone high to your downward facing dog. Great chance to have a little pedal heel here of the heels. Now don't worry if you're feeling really tight down the back line of the legs and your heels don't touch the floor. It doesn't matter. You're thinking about an inverted V shape. Anatomically, we're all different. Your muscles, we're all different when it comes to mobility. So just remember that you're looking for length down the back line of the body. Reconnect your fingers into the floor. Take an inhale, find length in the spine, keep the belly in. And as you exhale, lift the tailbone, maybe drawing those heels down towards the floor. Now, if you've got that tight back line of the legs, you might really need to keep the knees soft. Okay, so just keep working gently there with your exhale breath. We'll take one more deep inhale, keep the hands shoulder distance apart. Take an inhale, keep the toes connected. Exhale, lifting the tailbone. Well done. Then softening the knees, starting to tiptoe the feet towards the hands. Keep the knees as bent as you need to. Taking hold of your elbows here into a ragdoll position. Keep the knees as soft as you need to. Any lower back issues, excuse me for the close there, just place the hands on the thighs. Okay, and you can just have a little rock and roll side to side there. So if you are working with any lower back issues or any recovery in that area, always come up with a flat back. Never do any rounded spine rolls. Likewise, any abdominal work or anything like that, just look to come up with a flat back. So have one last little pedal here, wherever you are, whether you're up here or down here. Keep the belly in. And then softening the knees, bring those feet just hip distance, so bring the feet a bit close together, hip distance. Soften the knees, take an inhale, and as you exhale, rolling up through the spine, coming up through a spine roll, or coming up, guiding your hands back up the thighs to stand. Come to stand in the top of your space in Tadasana, mountain pose. Feet together to touch, palms facing forwards. You can always take a prayer to your heart center here or your third eye. So yoga is a really personal practice. You just take what works for you and let go of what doesn't. If you would like to offer out your practice today to someone or something, then now is the time to do that. So you might want to offer out your practice to someone who could benefit from your energy today, maybe someone who is also healing, or perhaps there is someone who is not well, maybe it's someone you love that you're looking to let go of. Just thinking of that person, that thing, coming back to your space. Remembering to always be kind to your body, to never be anywhere where you can't breathe, and to have some fun. Take one more deep inhale breath here. Exhale, just let it go. And then on your next inhale, open your eyes if they're closed. Take the arms wide, then high to the sky and look up. Exhale with a flat back, forward fold down over your thighs. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, soften the knees, plant the hands, step the right, then the left foot back. Now holding a plank here, if that's a bit too strong, just bring the knees down. So especially if you're rebuilding any abdominal strength, this is true also if you are working with pregnancy or a postnatal, you just want to make sure you're not forcing anything. Just staying here in those plank poses. Couple more breaths, careful that there's no collapsing in the back and the bum isn't too high. Taking one more deep inhale breath here. Exhale, lower your knees if they're off the floor. And then we're going to prepare for a chaturanga, which is the yoga push-up. So from here, start to tip the weight forwards. Keep an inhale breath. And then as you exhale, lower your upper body down. Keep the elbows in, coming down to lie slowly, flat on the floor. Keep the chin in, forehead down, belly in, hands underneath the shoulders, coming up into a cobra pose. Squeeze the elbows down and back. Now there's no pressure in the hands here. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, press your tailbone back to a child's pose. From here, come forwards to tabletop, inhale. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. That combination of moves is the vinyasa. If you need to skip any out at any point, just go straight to the downward dog. You can always come back to child's pose. So staying here in your downward facing dog for a couple of breaths. Take a big inhale here. Exhale. One more big inhale breath. Exhale, just let it go. Inhale, look forward, soften the knees, step the right foot between the hands. Now don't worry if it doesn't go the whole way. You can always give it a hand, or if you need to, lower that back knee and then bring it through. If the back knee is still off the floor, lower it down, untuck the toes, then inhale, sweep the hands low, then high to the sky. From here, Anjaneyasana. So you've got this front knee stacked pretty much over the ankle. You might need to shuffle that front foot forwards. Reaching up with those arms, and this stretch is coming from the waist. Careful you're not hunching your shoulders up towards the ears. You've got that gaze point strong, fixed ahead of you. Take 2 more deep breaths in here. Inhale. Exhale, maybe pressing further into that front leg. Well done. Take 1 more deep inhale breath. Exhale. Beautiful, well done. Bring those hands down towards the floor. Frame your front foot. Again, this is where bricks can come in handy if you need to. We're going to stay here, okay, with the back knee down, or you can elevate that back knee into your variation of a runner's lunge. So wherever works for you, remembering never to push past a point that you can't breathe, always staying somewhere that is going to benefit you. Take 1 more deep inhale breath. As you exhale, step the left foot forwards. Feeling that in the hip flexor area. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, belly in. Exhale, forward fold, surrendering down. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands down by your side, Tadasana. Inhale, take the arms wide, look up. Exhale, forward fold, down towards the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left, then the right foot back this time, holding your plank or lowering the knees if you need to take a modified version. Absolutely nothing wrong. This is where I'm staying with the modified version. Now from here, careful, this belly is zipped in. There's no collapsing in the back. The bum isn't too high. You're breathing, taking 1 more deep inhale breath here. Now, as you exhale, lower the knees, tip the weight forwards, keep the elbows hugging into the rib cage, bring the chest down towards the floor, lie flat, belly in. Inhale, scoops the chest into that cobra, and then exhale, press down through child's pose to your downward facing dog. Really connecting back to the breath, pressing into the floor here with the hands. Belly is in, gaze point between those feet, the knees, maybe the belly button. But you're really just focusing here on that length in the back line of the body. Try to avoid distraction of, don't worry if your clothes are slipping. Try to stay focused on your practice. It really helps bring that concentration into the real world. Take 1 more deep inhale breath. Exhale, elevate the hips a little bit more. And then inhale, look forward, soften the knees, step the left foot between your hands. Again, don't worry about how you get there. So you can either stay here for a breath or just lower that back knee down, untuck the toes. So staying here wherever you've decided to be, whether that's runner's lunge or with the back knee down. Take 1 more inhale breath. Exhale. And then wherever you are, lower that back knee down and then inhale, sweep the hands low, then high to the sky. Anjaneyasana. Now again, just looking to really soften the shoulder blades down. So the extension and the reach is coming from the waist. These arms are reaching, but the shoulders aren't hunching and the fingers are spread wide. Keep that gaze point, that drishti, that focus. Well done. Taking 1 more deep inhale breath here. Exhale. Inhale, bring the hands down towards the floor. Tuck the back toes, elevate the back knee, take an inhale breath. Exhale, step the back foot forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands down by your side, Tadasana. Well done. Inhale, deeply bend your knees, chair pose. So from here, staying here for a couple of breaths. So feet squeezing together, fingers spread wide, pull the shoulder blades down and back, but without overarching the lower back. So keep the pelvis slightly tucked. Weight in the heels, take an inhale. Can you go a little lower? Exhale, forward fold. Well done. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands at the right, then the left foot back. Staying here for a couple of breaths, really building up that strength. Or you can lower your knees and keep them there. Well done. Taking one more deep inhale. Exhale, shift the weight forwards, bringing the chest and the chin down towards the floor. Inhale, scoops the chest, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, soften the knees. Step the right foot between the hands. Plant the left heel down. Toes angling out 45 degrees towards the top line of the mat and rise up, warrior one on your inhale. Now the left foot might need to have come out an inch or two because what you want to do is bring that left hip forwards. So if that left hip has to come out to give you space, you do, okay? Now stay super low in that right leg. Gaze point is strong. Opening out the hips, building strength in your warrior. Take one more inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down towards the floor. Lift the back heel. Step the right foot back, lower down through that press up option if you'd like to take it, or go straight to a downward facing dog. So exhaling as you come down. Inhale, scoops the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Well done. So from here, just recatching the breath. Spread the fingers wide. Remember, you're sending the inhale to all those pockets that are tight that we forget about. Making sure there's no crease in the brow. Take one more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward, soften the knees. Step the left foot between the hands. Right foot goes out an inch or two, plant the heel, rise up, warrior one. Inhale. Now again, this back leg sometimes just wants to collapse in. So really ground down, Padabandha your foot lock into the outside edge of the earth there, but the whole foot is pressing down. Bring that right hip forwards, but you're still staying somewhere that you can breathe. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down towards the floor, back heel lifts, press into the floor, left foot goes back, lower down through your press up option. Inhale, scoops the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog, staying here for a couple of breaths. Well done. So try to find stillness here. Keep the feet wide. If you need to take them a bit wider, if you need to take the heels out wider, then you can. Just really working in that way that's good for you. Take one more inhale. Exhale, lifting the hips. And then inhale, look forward, soften your knees. Step the right and then the left foot between your hands. Don't worry if you need to take a couple of steps to get there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, deeply bend your knees, chair. Exhale, stand tall, Tadasana, well done. So just taking a breath here. Now what we're going to do next is flow that through with the left side leading, one breath, one movement. Just keep going with what you can. Don't worry if you get a little lost, just join in when you can. So inhale, deeply bend the knees, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Keep that belly connected to spine. Remember that element of play. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the left, then the right foot back. Lower down through knees, chest, chin. Or if you have the full chaturanga in your practice, you can take that now. Inhale, scoops the chest up. Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot between your hands. Rise up, warrior one. Inhale. Well done. Inhale. Exhale, those hands go down towards the floor. Inhale, step the left foot back. Exhale, lower down through your press up option or skip it entirely. Go straight to your down dog. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, set the right foot between the hands. Rise up, warrior one. Inhale, well done. Exhale, hands go down towards the floor. Inhale, set the right foot back. Exhale, lower down through your press up. Keep those elbows in, belly in. Inhale, scoops to the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Well done. Staying here for a couple of breaths. Remember those options. You can always take child's pose if you need a break. Hero's pose. Just come back to the breath. Downward facing dog is a super active pose. Take deep inhale here. Exhale, lifting the hips. Taking one more deep inhale breath here. Exhale. And then inhale, look forward, soften the knees. Lower the knees down towards the floor. Look forwards, step the right foot to the outside edge of the right hand. Untuck the back toes. So this is a variation of lizard pose. You can use bricks here as well if you want to. So imagine that you've got that back leg extended so that you're looking to help you with also finding that length in the spine. You can take that back knee further away from you. Just looking to not hunch into the neck and shoulders. Take an inhale, press into the floor, step the right foot back, and then place weight into the hands, step the left foot forwards. So from here, you're really, again, looking to open out into those hips, whilst also not letting the head collapse. So coming back to that breath, maybe up on those fingertips or using those bricks. If you are more open in your hips and you want to take the elbows down to the floor, you're welcome to do that. Just try to ensure that you've got both elbows down. You're not just working with one elbow and then a hand. You're looking for that neutrality across the spine, the top line of the spine. Keep the belly in. Take one more inhale. Exhale, press into the floor, set that left foot back, bring the knees together, release that stretch, come into a child's pose. Well done. Enjoy that stretch into the spine. Then take an inhale here, coming forwards to a tabletop, just pop the tailbone down, extending both of the legs forwards. And then bending the knees, place the feet flat on the floor. Now, if you have no abdominal issues, not pregnant, anything like that, you can roll down one vertebra at a time. Otherwise, vertebra at a time, as slowly as you can. Otherwise, following me, just working through those elbows. If you're working with any back or abdominal issues, coming down to lie on your back. Keep the hands connected to the floor. Press the feet down into the ground. Take an inhale. As you exhale, elevate the hips. Keep the hands pressing down into the floor. If you'd like to take it further, interlace your hands, pressing them down in towards the floor, underneath your spine. Try to keep the knees in line with the hips. Careful they're not flaring out. Take one more inhale, press into the floor, lift the hips. Exhaling, rolling down with control, one vertebra at a time. Just windscreen wiping your legs there. And we're going to come lie completely flat in a Shavasana. We're at that point already. So take the feet wide, slightly the mat, palms facing up. Now, if you're working with any lower back issues, you can keep the knees bent. Likewise, if you do not like lying on your back, if that doesn't work for you, you can lie on your side, which is where I'm going to stay. So just finding where works for you. Just taking the last moment or two here in your space to fully ground down. Releasing any tension, any stress from all that effort. Hopefully there was none. Taking a deep inhale, breath through the nose. Exhale, just letting it go. Just acknowledging anything that's here for you today. Just knowing that it's okay if stuff is bubbling up. It's all right. Just let it go, the exhale breath. Feeling the ground underneath you. Making sure there's no self-deprecating thoughts about your practice today. Acknowledging that where you are right now is just absolutely perfect for where you need to be. Just really sending that exhale, just letting it go, sending it away. Just like any thoughts you don't need to take into the rest of your day or evening. Just acknowledging them and letting them go. Just let them float away. Just breathing here in your space. A couple more moments. If you're lying on your back, start to wriggle your fingers and your toes. If you're lying on your side, you can do similar, just having a bit of a side stretch. And if you want to, if you're on your back, you can hug your knees into the chest there, give yourself a little hug, rock and roll side to side before rolling onto your right or your left side, pressing yourself up to a seated position. Just finding that length in the spine, coming back to where we started. Just hopefully feeling a little looser in the body, a looser in the mind. Just giving those shoulders a last little bit of a gentle roll there before taking 2 last final breaths. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, just let it go. One more nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. And then acknowledging your practice if you like to do so in whatever way works for you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'm sure I will see you soon. Thank you for joining.